Welcome to Go Fund This. I'm Rob Southgate. Today I have my first filmmaker of the new season on. I have Eric with me. Eric, why don't you tell people how to pronounce your last name? That would help. And also who you are, kind of give a little background, and then let's get into this.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm Eric Eichelberger. I'm a filmmaker. I make horror films primarily, but I'm branching out here and I'm making a documentary about the history of cult movies, exploitation movies, grindhouse movies, all that kind of stuff. And I've been collecting interviews for this for like 14 years. So we've got all the major players in exploitation film history as a part of the documentary. And this year we are finishing the documentary. We're in the editing phase, and we're doing a couple more interviews to sort of tie together the storyline, and we should be finished by the end of the year with the Exploit This documentary. The documentary is called Exploit This, The Complete History of Exploitation Cinema in America, and we feature exploitation filmmakers like Herschel Gordon Lewis, who made Blood Feast, Ted Michaels, who did The Girl with Gold Boots, Jack Hill, who did Foxy and Foxy Brown and Coffee, and Spider Baby, and a whole host of other people. Joel Reed, who did the movie Bloodsucking Freaks, David Friedman, who had a whole career of films, but including Blood Feast, 2000 Maniac, She Freak. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much Bill Greffy I did an interview with recently, and he did basically the first shark or the first Jaws ripoff movie called Mako, the Jaws of Death. He was a Florida filmmaker in the swamp and did a lot of cool films, including a movie with Rita Hayworth.
Wow.
The list goes on and on and on. Ray Steckler did The Thrill Killers and the Incredibly Strange Creatures Who Stopped Living and Became Mixed Up Zombies. Yeah, I mean, the list goes on and on with these cult movies, exploitation movies, and the people that we've interviewed. We also interviewed a lot of women. We interviewed Mary Warnoff, who was an actor in Andy Warhol's early films, and then she went on to do movies like Rock and Roll High School and Eating Raoul that were directed by Paul Bartel and produced by Roger Corman.
I think if people saw her, they would immediately recognize her. Like, as soon as I saw the picture of Mary, I'm like, oh my God, I love her.
Oh yeah, she's really great. And she was a great interview. And Debbie Rochon, who's in a lot of trauma movies for the trauma fans out there.
Yeah, you couldn't do an exploitation documentary without mentioning trauma, right?
Right, exactly.
Or Roger Corman.
Roger Corman is in the film. I mean, he almost goes without saying his career, but Little Shop of Horrors, Bucket of Blood, all the sort of Poe adaptions.
You got Rhonda Shear in here. You never hear about Rhonda Shear anymore. She was a big influence because of Up All Night. So many people, because of her and like her bubbly personality and everything she brought to it, really drew a lot of people into these exploitation films, which I think is cool, because when I start talking about it with people, this is really deep in my wheelhouse, Eric. I got to say, I love these movies.
I got introduced to these kind of movies, B movies, exploitation films, was watching Up All Night. And I was pretty young. I was probably like 13, 14 when the show was in its peak. And so it was really cool to we did sort of a virtual chat because we've been filming some stuff during quarantine. And it was really cool to have this like virtual chat with Rhonda. And she also did a shout out for the Kickstarter. She's really great. And she's actually premiering one of my movies on her reboot. She's doing a reboot of Up All Night.
Breaking news.
I know. It's not going to be on USA, but it's going to be streaming and Roku and all those sort of devices.
Yeah.
And she's rebooting Up All Night, and she's going to show my movie Ghoul Scout Zombie Massacre.
Oh yes, I'll be there. Yeah, I'm a big fan. The Joe Bob reboot. I think I've watched every episode. I've been so happy that Joe Bob rose from the grave to do his stuff, because he was another one. Those two kept me busy.
Hmm.
between Joe Bob and Up All Night. I was like, man, these
I'll
were
have to
so
check that out.
great.
That's on Shutter, right?
It's on
The
Shutter, and it is really good.
I'll check it out. Yeah, I've been hearing good things, and I need to watch something like that. That sounds really fun.
I had the opportunity a few years ago. I went to a drive-in festival, and we watched some bad drive-in movies, which was great. And Joe Bob was there, and I got to do the pledge of the drive-in with Joe Bob, which to me was a magic moment. So I also sat 2 seats away from Bruce Campbell at that. That was pretty fun too. Uh,
Oh,
he was just in the audience. So this sounds like an amazing project, Eric, and it sounds like you've got a deep history here with horror and with B film. So one thing I'm going to say to people is definitely, definitely check this out. This is such a cool project. I can't say enough about it, and you're doing well with it. I mean, let's see, you're at your goal is 12,500. You're at almost $7,000. You've still got 8 days to go. You know, the bulk of it comes in right at the end. So we just got to get the word out there. And one thing I'm going to say to people that are listening, I say this to everybody. I say this all the time, and this one I really mean it. If you love these types of films, share this project across your social media. Get the word out there, because you're going to have somebody that's, one of your friends on Facebook that's like me, that's going to see this and go, oh, yes, interviews with these people, I'm in. Even if you're not in, you've got people that you're friends with that would be thrilled to back a project like this. So make sure you do that. It's called Exploit This with an exclamation point, the history of cult cinema in America. That's what it says on the Kickstarter. And then it's Eric Eichelberger. I said it right. You can look him up, Eichelberger. Not that you have to memorize that, because I'm going to put all this in the show notes. So, Eric, why don't we, since we're going to kind of make this quick, why don't we talk about some of the different tiers? You got any that you want to highlight?
yeah. What's really cool too is we've been bringing out swag like every day for the rest of the campaign, and what we've got going now in the $250 tier is these really cool posters of Blood Feast and 2000 Maniacs, signed by Herschel Gordon Lewis, the director of those films. So that would be a really cool thing to pick up. And also at that, or maybe a slightly higher tier, I'd have to see for sure, we've got original cups from the movie The Stuff. The Larry Cohen is
Oh,
in the film, and these are actually originally in the movie The Stuff, the real cups from back in the day. So we've got a few of these cups for a 350 or more dollar pledge. So how cool is that? And we're also bringing out other stuff. I'll give you a sneak peek at some of it. We're going to bring out some posters that Lisa from Something Weird video gave us for Blood Feast 2000 Maniacs and Color Me Blood Red, the Blood Trilogy. We've got 10 of those posters. Those are going to be at a smaller dollar amount. And I think we're going to do $50 for those. So if you pledge $50, you'll get a really cool one-of-a-kind poster from Something Weird. We've got some signed posters of The Stuff, signed by Larry Cohen, that we're going to reveal. We've got some signed, Bring Stevens signed some 8x10s for us, so we're going to reveal those. And we got some, Fred Olin Ray signed a few 8x10s. So we've got some really cool swag.
yeah, you really do.
And,
You also have some private conversations, some 30-minute Zoom consultations with directors. Is that with you?
that could be with me, or it could also be with one of our people that participate in the movie, like Debbie Rochon.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
yeah, so that's a really cool tier to donate at. And if you're not donating that high, that's okay. For $10, you can get a personal shout out on our social media and email updates. Or for $25, you can get a digital copy of the film on release. So those are some smaller dollar amounts
They add
that
up
you can
though.
donate. Really cool stuff. If you donate $100 we give you that shout out. We give you a 5x7 film poster, which is an original poster that was made just for this project. Really cool artist out of Chicago, named Jeff Lasseter did the poster for us. Really cool poster. A Blu-ray copy of the film on release, and special thanks in the film's credits. And that's actually what we've seen. If you look at the Kickstarter, that's what we've seen the most of, is this $100 pledge, which I think is the best deal. And I think we're going to add some cool swag to in the next couple of days. So, check that
stay
out.
tuned, right?
You could also join. We've got an Exploit This group on Facebook, and if you join the Facebook group, you'll get the first announcements of the brand new swag, because I announce it there, and then I announce it to our previous donors. So even if you donated $1, you would get the early announcements of the cool swag before it all gets swooped up.
Now, I'm confident you're going to hit this number. So do you have any stretch goals you want to reveal, or is that something you're kind of like, hey, we'll reveal it when we get there?
I think that we built in some stretch goals. That's a good question.
Oh, I actually see them. I'm answering my own question. It says 15,000. You'll add a blooper reel to the end credits. That's a lot of fun. 20,000. Where you can send your film off to 50 different film festivals. That's great. This will allow our
documentation. Will allow us to do some marketing. So the stretch goals are things that if we get this amount of money, we can afford to do this, basically.
Yeah, very cool.
We can do a lot of targeted advertising, and we can do a lot of subway and trailer and subway and bus ads if we reach 25,000. So we would love to get the word out enough that we meet our goal and exceed our goal. That would be amazing. That would be
all right.
Really
so we got a little over a week to make that happen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think it can happen because that number for a film like this should be very doable. It's really exciting. What a great project, Eric. Where can people reach you?
So people could reach me on the website exploitthisthemovie.com. And then they can also reach me through my company's website, which is anxietyfilms.com. And they can reach out to me directly if they'd like at anxietyfilms@gmail.com. Any way they want to reach me, they can get in touch. As far as the Kickstarter, if they just search "exploit this" exclamation point, that should come up for them. And check out that Facebook group as well, which is Exploit This on Facebook groups.
Great. I'm joining it as we're talking here.
Nice.
So I love this project. I think this is really cool. I wish you all the luck in the world on this one, because I think I would love to see these interviews. I think you've really got something cool here, and I think a channel like Shudder would love to have this. So I look forward to seeing this in the future. So Eric, thank you so much for being on. Good luck with this.
Oh, thank you so much.